What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Dugout podcast presented by O'Brien Performance Baseball. This week is episode 3, and we have on Matt Nicholson as a guest. He is a 2018 New England 10 first-team All-Conference player, Merrimack baseball alum, and current coach and instructor with the New England Huskies organization in Norwell, Massachusetts. Matt takes us to his progression of his baseball career and what led him into coaching. He's also going to touch on the experience he had with the recruitment process and why he ultimately chose Merrimack College over other D2 and D1 offers. Any questions you have for Matt, please reach out to his Instagram page that will be linked down in the description below. And as always, thanks for watching and listening, and enjoy. All right, what's going on, guys? Back to another episode of the Dugout Talk podcast, presented by O'Brien Performance Baseball. This week we have on Matt Nicholson, a Rockland, Mass guy, South Shore area, went to Merrimack, and is now coaching with the New England Huskies. Matt, so yeah, if you just want to jump into a quick bio, how you got started with the game of baseball and kind of what's going on now.
Hey, what's up, guys? Like Scotty said, I'm from Rockland, homegrown, went to Rockland High, ended up getting to play at Merrimack College. Obviously a blast. But growing up, man, I mean, baseball, you know how it was. It was always the best. My dad had me going young. I was lucky enough to have 3 older brothers that played. So I was always around the game no matter what. And from what I'm hearing, I guess when I was like 1 year old, I would just grab a bat and just start swinging, and didn't care what I was hitting, whether it was rocks or whatever. I just loved the game from when I started, and never really grew out of it like some other kids do. Growing up through middle school and high school, I got lucky enough to have those genes and really enjoyed the process growing up. And looking back at it, I wouldn't change a thing.
Yeah, for sure. So when do you think, because I'm a former teammate of yours, we played AAU together. So
Yeah.
I saw you probably like 15 up. But
Yep.
like, when did you see younger when you kind of separated yourself from the guys around your town? So.
I think trying not to be like cocky, but I was hitting home runs when I was 6. So that's when I noticed. Obviously, I was a little bigger than the other kids and had a little more raw strength. But personally, I think I really started loving the game right when I left the yard the first time. I mean, just running around the bases with that excitement. I'm sure you remember your first home run. I mean, right. It's stuff like that really makes you remember how special it is.
Right. Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah. So just touch on that. Like when, so we played together on 14, 15 when we were at Madero, and then we transitioned over to Atlantic Baseball Club, where we kind of faded. I finished up my 17U. I think you're a year or 2 younger than me. So
yep.
You were on that team, which kind of speaks volume too, because we had a pretty good squad. I think you were 15 playing with 17-year-olds, and you were one of our best players too. So that's kind of when I noticed that you were going to go play.
Yeah.
So that was good. So Merrimack College, can you take me through that like recruitment process and how you came to that decision?
Yeah. So going through high school was a little tough for me. I was always a basketball player as well. And going through Rockland, the basketball tradition is so special there. Where when I was going through high school, I was kind of having some doubts with baseball because I started to succeed in basketball a little bit and getting a little more attention during basketball. But then I think when we started playing those showcase teams, it really helped me grow baseball-wise, and I started seeing all these showcase tournaments. I went to the Bay State games, and then that's when I was noticed by Merrimack. And Coach Martin, he's with he ended up leaving my freshman year and went to URI. And I think he's with, who's he with? I don't remember who he's with now, but it's some D1 program that's successful. And the minute he called me, I knew I had something in baseball, because basketball, I was playing AAU as well, and I wasn't getting the looks I wanted. I could only really shoot. I was pretty tall, but I was a string bean back then. But baseball, I could see myself going just with the recruitment letters I started to get. It wasn't just Merrimack. I had a bunch. I had one from Yukon, I remember, Bryant, a lot of the NE10 schools. So that recruitment process was fun, but I took one visit to Merrimack and committed right on the spot. I love the feel up there, the small campus feel. They promised us that we're going to Division One, which unfortunately we didn't when I was there. But now they went Division One last year, so I'm happy for them that way. Um, I wouldn't change a thing though. Division Two, Division One, it doesn't matter. You see real pitching no matter what. That was the one thing I noticed. I went. I was a little disappointed I didn't go D1, but I went D2. Then I ended up seeing those guys from Southern New Hampshire, Franklin Pierce, guys on the other side like Pace, Adelphi. Those guys, they can bring it. We faced, I don't know if you heard of him, but Josiah Gray, he went to Lemoyne College. He got drafted by the Cincinnati Reds, I think 32nd overall. And then he got traded to the Dodgers, and he's like their fourth best prospect now. So, I mean, my best advice to kids younger, you still have that chance, whether it's D1, D2, or D3. I know plenty of guys that were D2 and D3 that got their shot, and they're making the most out of it. So, I mean, that's my biggest advice during the recruiting process. Don't get so hung up on Division One because there's still really good baseball in D2 and D3 where you're going to get noticed if you play the game the right way.
Right. No, I agree. Especially the NE10 where you played. I mean,
Yeah.
like you got Stonehill, Franklin Pierce, all those teams. Southern New Hampshire is always stacked. Like, so you're pretty much playing a D1 schedule as well because you see
Yeah,
those
man. I mean,
2-3 times anyways. So
yeah. So we'd see, especially on our side and growing up and playing New England, we'd end up playing Pierce. My senior year, we played Pierce 10 times.
right. Exactly.
Just because of the snow, it cancels some plans, so we just get quick games like that. So it's nice because we see those teams. We'd always want to play those teams so we can get better ourselves.
Right.
And then by the end, my senior year, we ended up winning the NE10. Just I think because we did face those teams and they made us better as a whole.
Right. So yeah, so with the NE10, that's strictly wood bat, correct?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah,
It
so
was when I was there. I think they actually just switched over the metal.
oh they did. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, so I always thought that was cool. The NE10 was the wood bat, so you kind of even could gauge yourself maybe
Yeah,
prospect
exactly.
wise during the season too when you were there for the 4 years. So no, that was I always thought it was cool. But then I mean, you go back to wood bat because I mean metal bat because I mean they're playing probably you guys are playing out of conference and you would play metal bat anyway. So it's like
Yeah.
it's either all wood or all metal. It's tough for those teams to transition back and forth. But I mean, I think the NE10 conference play was probably one of the best baseball I've ever seen. So
Right. I mean, I
uh,
loved it. No
yeah,
regrets,
exactly,
man.
dude.
No
You guys
regrets
had a
going
good
to
team.
that conference.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no, for sure. So so you finished up. Did you graduate last year? Last year,
I graduated in 2018.
2018. Okay, so
Yeah.
2018, you figured out kind of get. Let me get a feel of like where your head was at after finishing school and ball up, college ball.
Yeah. So after my junior year, I actually went to a pro day where all 30 or however many teams, 30 or 32 teams are in the MLB. They're all there. And I fared pretty well. I ended up talking to the Yankees, Pirates, and just some teams like that. And it kind of got my hopes up going into senior year. And it kind of motivated me as well. Senior year ended up being my best year, accolade wise and career wise there. I think that was the push I needed just to see that these guys did want to talk to me. And so senior year came around, I graduated, and I was kind of expected to go late in the draft, but unfortunately it didn't happen. So I was hoping to get a call. That didn't happen. And my one of my biggest regrets, I didn't really look at independent ball, which I probably should have. But there's a little thought in the back of my head now that because I'm back in shape a little bit and I'm starting to hit a lot more. I'm still playing. I might contact some guys, see what they can do, but if not, I have no problem with what I did growing
No,
up
for
and
sure.
how it all
No,
happened.
for sure. No, definitely don't have any regrets. But your career was awesome. Yeah, no, for sure. So with that, I know you're still playing with the Braintree White Sox, correct? Which
Yep.
is for anybody that doesn't know, that's a Cranberry Baseball League team here in Mass. I played in that league for a little bit, but coming from me who didn't play on the Braintree White Sox are the team to beat every year. And it's usually guys like Matt that played D1, D2 ball, and they all are on the same team, and they kind of beat up on all of us. But it's fun, good competition because it's always fun. They're always fun to play with. A little bit of friendly banter back and forth, chirping. That's what I always loved about the White Sox. Yeah, so you're still going with them. You guys have a good squad coming back again?
Yeah, I mean, from what you remember is probably what we still have. We're just getting a little older now, so it takes that a little more in the off season to get back into it. But by about halfway through, we're right back to where we were, like what you remember us.
Exactly.
We're trying to get younger. We're adding some D1 guys now, ex pros. So it's still the same recruiting process. It's just some new guys are starting to filter in. Some old guys are starting to filter out now, which is nice. But without those older guys, the new guys wouldn't know what we do around here.
Exactly. No, for sure. Yeah, well, that's awesome that you're still playing. Yeah. So, and then obviously, you said that you didn't obviously get that call, and you're kind of looking into it now, independent ball. But what kind of transitioned you and wanted to coach? Have you always wanted to coach after your career was over?
I think it was always kind of destined for me. My father was a real big time coach for Abington growing up for him, and it's always been in our genes that we'd like to coach. My nephew is turning 12 this year. He's playing over with South Shore Sea Dogs. So it was, I think him growing up while I was in high school and college, it kind of got me wanting to teach the younger generation and getting me into it. And then Mike Ryan had actually called me here because I found this job on Indeed, and it's ended up being one of the best gigs I could have ever taken. It's so fun being around the game still, and you got to work. You got to do what you love to do when you work. I mean, I went to school. I went to school 5 years. I got a master's, and I don't see myself sitting in an office setting ever.
Right. No, that's
So it's
awesome
just
that you're
stuff
still
like
doing that.
that.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
man.
Yeah, I was kind of the same way. Jumped right into it after ball ended for me. I played that one final summer with Cranberry, and then I was just hopping it right in. I actually had an 18U team that was stacked as a 22-year-old graduate. So it was one of the funnest times of my life. First year,
Yeah, man.
getting to hang out with the 18-year-olds as a 22-year-old and just get that little older ball in. And then I kind of transitioned back to the younger kids now. What team are you guys over there? Like what team do you
I
go
I
to?
have I have the 11 U's.
Yep, that's me too. 11U.
Yeah, so it's fun.
Are you guys still AAU over there?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So we transitioned to the New England Elite Baseball League or something like that. And then
Okay,
now they merged with the PBC that we were in last year. So it's like a New Balance Select League. I
okay.
don't know. I mean, if you guys want to get into that, something that you could look into because they kind of streamline everything for those AAU organizations and stuff like that. Pretty
Yep.
much scheduling, gear, all that stuff's taken care of. But yeah,
Okay.
no, AAU was awesome. Again, me and you played AAU growing up pretty much together with those formative years. So I mean, that's just kind of where we're at. It's like I'm
Yeah,
coaching, you're
yeah.
coaching. It's part of it. But that 11U group is awesome. It's cool because you can kind of see those kids that are gonna kind of start to separate themselves too. And then
Yep.
obviously the back end guys you want to coach as much as possible to get them to that point too. So
Yeah, exactly, man. I mean, I think AAU baseball as a whole prepares you for college if you have that opportunity to play. Because if you, like myself, I didn't know any of you guys when I went over to Verdero the first time. I was just kind of getting out of my comfort zone. I was playing with a hometown team. Kind of left them when I was 14 because I wanted to separate myself and play some real ball and get on a showcase team. So I think doing that and making that adjustment, it really prepared me to meet new guys when I did go to school, and it made the process a lot easier. So that's kind of what I can thank AAU for, is making that process easy and being able to talk to random people or meeting people for the first time, making it easier.
right, exactly. Yeah, so coaching over there, so you obviously got the 11U team. You doing like lessons and one-on-one type stuff as well?
Yep, I'm doing privates basically every day, right after I get out of work during the day. So it's right from work to baseball, which is never a bad thing ever.
Yeah, can't complain. Yeah, so we'll just close up a little bit too. Any advice for the younger guys coming up? I mean, I know we can't stress it enough with like put the work in now because you're gonna reap the reward later. But I mean, firsthand, you're kind of the good example for that too. Because I know you were working hard since you came over to us, and I'm sure you were doing it beforehand too. So, any advice kind of going there too?
Yeah, I think just believing in yourself. You can't let someone tell you that you're not good enough, or like you're not going to make it, because that's just going to put you down. I think you got to just believe in yourself, keep working hard, obviously, like you said, and just know what you have, what your ability is. You're the only one that knows what you can do at your most in your best time. I mean, that's why I tell the guys now is if we can put the work in now, it's going to be easy when we get out into the field. It's just all the hard work. It's all the little things. Make sure you're doing all the little things right. That's what Coach Barisi stressed on us at Merrimack. You do all the little things right, it adds up to a big thing. And that big thing could be you. That could be you signing a contract or getting drafted, doing whatever you want to do. I think it puts it in real life aspect too, and it really teaches you a good lesson. If you can do all the little things right, then you're going to set yourself up for some success down the road.
For sure. Yeah, no, I appreciate you hopping on, kind of giving a little insight, that D2 and on kind of thing. Yeah, so guys, if you want to reach out to Matt, kind of ask him some questions about kind of that process. He has a better understanding, obviously, with that D2 and up kind of thing than I do. Be sure to reach out to his Instagram page, and I'm sure he'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
No doubt.
Yeah, so
no doubt. Anytime.
Yep, I'll leave all that stuff down in the description. Again, thanks for hopping on, and have a good week, man.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Thanks.